If you believe that war is a failure of the political system, then subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. We live in very dark times, I suppose. What's going on in the world, in our individual countries? It's very, very concerning. I've brought you videos about what's going on overseas. I've brought you videos about what's going on here. And throughout all of it, you've got this underlying current of something in the air. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Throughout our history, we always end up at regular intervals, I suppose, picking a fight with somebody, and a great deal of people pay the cost. And you'd think throughout history we would learn our lessons, but evidently not. I walk a few miles from my house and there's a war memorial with one of my family members on it who paid the ultimate sacrifice in a conflict a couple of generations ago. Many others like it. Again, we don't learn our lessons. Have a look at this picture. I don't expect you to know who that is. I do because I'm a student of military history. I've always been interested in it because of the, military history in my family. His name is Jack Gagan. And there he was, taken a picture with his newborn child. And you can see not long after they were born. Jack Gagan was a lieutenant in the US Army. He was killed in action in Vietnam in 1965. He was 24 years old, whole life ahead of him. Wasted, gone. His commanding officer, the then Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore, went out looking for him everywhere, as he promised to do with any soldier. We will come home together. Famous words spoken by Hal Moore, who later went on to become a lieutenant general in the US Army before he retired. A conflict on a foreign battlefield, thousands of miles from home, fighting somebody else's cause. And people like Jack Gagan deserving of a long and happy life taken away from them. Sad, isn't it? Sad. And then lately, with all the conflicts and everything heating up around, our sphere, I see this all over the news. I'm disappointed that GB News is one of them, but chilling threat of conscription issued as Britain's warned they must be ready to fight in a bitter all-out war with Russia. It feels like mission creep to me. Feels like mission creep, as in they're trying to put an idea into our heads, scare us and say this could happen. Me, I'm too old. If you go by any other conflict that we've had in our recent history, once you get much over the age of 40, it ain't happening. But the likes of me and the likes of others, we've all got kids. I've got two. One just turned 20 years old and the other's 10. 10-year-old Jack you've met. I fear for their futures. There's another story in Vietnam as well, where there was a father and his two sons, and the guy, I couldn't find the names of them, they escaped me, but the story is true. The two sons were called up to fight in Vietnam, and the father was a World War II veteran, and when he was demobbed, he came out as a lieutenant. And when his two sons were called up to go fight in Vietnam, he said the only way they're going is if I go to keep an eye on them. And he went in as a sergeant, non-commissioned officer. And the tragedy of that tale is he never came home, but his sons did. He died doing what he set out to do. Another waste. And yet all these years later, 50, 60, 70 years later, we're looking at it again on a foreign battlefield thousands of miles from home. That's not our fight. Very morbid, very deep thinking video, I know, but I've been mulling over this for a couple of days, and I just wanted to tell you what I think. And more importantly, you tell me what you think. Thank you, as always, for listening. If you want to see another one of my videos, you can do that one there. I look forward to talking to you again soon and reading your comments. Toodaloo.